We are here. What happened?
Hello.
We are here. We are clear of distractions tonight because you are done with your thing, and that's why we're just a few minutes late. But welcome to episode 5 of SecondString Sports Talk, where we speculate from the sidelines. I'm your host, Johnny Barks, and to my right is my co-host,
myself, Brian Burgess.
Yeah, you're supposed to say your name.
Yeah, and feel free to submit your questions and comments in the chat, or subscribe to us to tell when our next videos are coming out, so you'll get a little bit of notification when we are about to go live. But yeah, we'll try and do these every Thursday night, maybe Mondays and Fridays going forward, we've talked about. So yeah, how you doing, Johnny? Do you have any updates from our league, our home league, before we
Sorry, my internet crapped out for some reason. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if I was like frozen on screen or not. Home updates from our league. Yeah, we had a big trade happen. Do we have 2 trades since last week? I don't even remember.
I want to say there was 2 trades. I don't know if our last episode included the big 3-way trade. I think it did.
I think it did.
But there was 1 trade then, I guess. And it was between somebody who I don't think I've ever seen trade, our good pal Tim, and I've been in this league for 7 years now, maybe 8 years, and I've never seen Tim trade. So this was a big deal. I'm sure he has, but I just don't remember it. But it's very rare. He's usually pretty content with his team.
Yeah, and it's you gotta love the new wave of football these days. I mean, real life football, more trades than ever on trade deadline day, as we saw by far, I think, in NFL history. And that applies to fantasy world too, because that impacts your team, and you gotta make moves to stay with the times.
Right, and this sort of segues really nicely into our first section, which will be called trade etiquette. Johnny, you want to pull up my little?
Oh, I would love to. I meant to like grab some music or something. I could actually. I think we have some music in here.
Play some classical.
Yeah, I believe so. Let me see.
Yeah. Welcome to Trade Etiquette with Headmaster Burgess. Today we'll be going over, as your trade deadline approaches, to draw near with the personal reviews of some of the basic fantasy football trade etiquette to promote the most appropriate behavior with your fellow league mates. So let's jump right into the rules. Next slide, please. All right. Here are the rules of trade etiquette. Number 1, don't waste the time of your potential trade partner by offering foolish trades in your favor to get the conversation started. You'll only piss people off if you insult them with a trade like Joe Mixon and Marquise Brown for Cooper Kupp and Cordero Patterson. And I'm talking about the trade that Evan just sent Johnny. Next, yeah, go ahead, Johnny.
No, I mean, to be fair, he did cancel it, but I was slightly disrespected when I still saw that in my inbox.
Yeah. Number 1, so Cooper Kupp's number 1 receiver this year. Is that true?
He's like number 3 this year.
Okay.
But they did already have their bye week, so.
Right. And then when healthy, Patterson is about equal to Joe Mixon this year.
Yeah, I think his lowest game is 14.2.
Right.
Cooper Kupp, and that's like what you would want a good receiver to average. So.
Right.
I think that is.
I'm saying like Cordero Patterson is basically equal to Joe Mixon, I would argue, when he's healthy.
Yeah.
For his scoring. I mean, Joe Mixon started off strong, but he's not like a crazy, amazing back.
I think Cordell Patterson's a little more explosive, but I think still that, Mixon has more consistency. Yeah.
So that's just rule number 1. Don't offer, foolish trades just to get the conversation started, Evan.
Evan.
Yeah, Evan. Rule number 2, if you're sent a trade, respond in a reasonable time frame. This is more for a couple people in our league. I'm talking about my friend Mike. Think 12 to 24 hours max. If it's anything beyond that, you're kind of just being either you're either not paying attention to your league or you're disrespecting the other person, in my opinion. So I get that we all have jobs. Some of us have cooler jobs where you don't necessarily have to work while you're working. Like my good friend Johnny, who edits YouTube videos for a living,
Yeah.
and myself, where I just sit in an office and am on YouTube half the time. But yeah, I understand. I mean, 12, 24 hours is a reasonable amount.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, like, taking your time and, like, kind of, like, ignoring it can be, like, a mind game for some people to, like, make them double, you know what I mean? But, like, still, you gotta be, I mean, you gotta work on we're all on a schedule with our teams here. I mean, with waiver wires and timing and everything. Like, you have, like, Tuesday, Wednesday. You basically have Tuesday and Wednesday to mess with your lineup, and that's, like, then it's on to the next week. You got Thursday night football. So.
Right. Well, all right. Well, let's look at rule number 3. So, rule number 3, put yourselves in the shoes of the other team. Do they benefit relatively equally from the trade? And, you can do this by trying to reach directly out to them, ask if they're interested, and if anybody on your team. And if you're too dumb to do this, then you need to ask somebody to help you. So, but yeah, put yourself in the shoes of a trade partner. Does this trade make sense for their team as much as it makes sense for me?
Right. So I mean, the way I always look at it, it seems like any given team, maybe one team in a league is well or perfectly balanced. But just about every team is in need of a running back or in need of a receiver. So the best trade partners are definitely people who are opposite your needs. So, if they need a receiver, you need a running back. That's how it's going to work. That's how most trades.
Right.
Yo, what's going on, Diego? How you doing tonight, sir? Or sirs, whatever your pronouns are.
What the? Let's jump to rule number 4. Diego.
Rule 4.
Diego's a boy's name, but. All right. Rule number 4, don't rely on projections alone in your trade evaluation. How many times have you gone in and you evaluate the trade and you see, oh, this person's going to get 14 points. My person's going to get 9. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Consider, I'm thinking of like, Josh Palmer right now, who is basically wide receiver 1 for the Chargers at this point. Yeah, he's projected a little lower, or he was projected a little lower, and he still is. But you have to consider, what are the player trends? Are there team injuries? How another league member may value your player, etc. Like Johnny really likes Brian Robinson, so I was able to trade him for peanuts, or trade him away for give him peanuts and Brian Robinson, and I got
peanuts. You included Terry McLaurin in the trade.
Yeah.
You traded for an injured Mike Williams. A lot of people could debate that.
Yeah, I get it. I'm out Mike Williams for at least a couple more weeks. So, but still, I think Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson for Mike Williams straight up. If both sides were healthy, I think I win that one.
Right.
But yeah.
But we want to hear from you guys. Let us know down below what trades have you made this offseason, or this not offseason, it's middle of the season. This season before the trade deadline. Because I know a lot of our leagues also have trade deadlines coming up. We have ours is 2 weeks, but let us know. We'll give our opinions. We want to hear from you guys as well. So on to rule number.
Yeah, last rule number 5. We really just only veto a trade if there's clear evidence of collusion or a trade strongly affects the integrity of the league. And if you're vetoing just because a team that's better than you is benefiting from the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Please find a different way to sulk. Like, this is not, just suck it up and approve because it's a fair trade,
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to really vote against unless you're I don't know, just an asshole. I saw this Reddit post. I'm gonna find the exact trade, but someone posted on our Scotch Fantasy Football. It was like, is this collusion? It's Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson for Damon. I don't know. I don't remember the exact players, but it was super obvious. Yeah, that needs to be investigated.
Right. There's some that are very obvious, but yeah, I'm always hesitant to veto any trade. I think it's just, I think it's weird.
It's pretty obvious if you need to.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how that goes. But also let us know if there's any other rules you guys would add, or if there's something you disagree with.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Brian,
right.
for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get back to the rest of the show. I actually closed out my Google Doc for the freaking second straight time.
Well, we're going to be talking about over-unders, player props, betting for this week. So if you wanted to share your screen, Johnny, and
I actually didn't make any bets. I forgot to. And I made like two promotional parlays, I guess. But the only person I'm looking for is Devontae Smith to get like 40 yards. I think that's a good bet. What's his actual over-under right now? Let me see.
I'm going to call my friend Tom while you're pulling that up. Tom is our resident gambling addict. Hey, Tom.
Friend of the show.
Hey, Brian. Why are you calling me on Facebook audio?
Can you text me your phone number?
I already did that, brother. I can do this. This is fine.
Okay.
As long as the audio is crisp and clear for you.
Yeah, Johnny, could you turn off the music that's playing? I didn't realize that was still going.
You don't like the music? Okay.
All right, so Tom, why don't you walk us through some of your bets, some of your props, over-unders of the week? What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize to the listeners because I had the Colts in that Titans game, and they did not end up being able to cover. But I also told you guys to hit the under, and that one hit. So on my real money wagers in that game, I came out even. But I apologize because I'd like to get you guys some money instead of just playing even.
Fair enough.
I'm going to do better this week.
Well, what do you got for us?
Well, I'd like you to help me out with a couple of current lines so I don't have to make any mistakes from...
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Yeah, Johnny's got you. So what are the ones you're looking for?
I got drafted. Hold up right now. So for tonight, what you got?
Sorry, say that again.
Can you pull up the tonight over-unders and prop bets?
Oh, Johnny? Yeah, so tonight it's the Eagles are minus 14. That's a huge line. I don't know if you trust that. I mean, what do you got for the spread?
The over-under. I did. It's 14, yeah.
Yeah, what's the over-under?
What's the over-under?
45.
That's a pretty good one. And the 14, I think the 14 started at 13 and a half. So it's just moved up a half point.
Yeah,
I might take that half point because if they lose by 2 touchdowns, you get a tie. So I think maybe taking the points there is the move because you're getting some valuable points. I also would consider doing a 6-point teaser if you're using FanDuel on taking the under and the points. So you can get the points up to 20 and you get that under up to 51. I think that would be a pretty good bet. The Eagles are going to win by less than 20 and the under is going to be under 51. I like that 6-point teaser.
Ooh, the 6-point teaser. I like that.
I do like it too. Yeah.
We have Mizzou Freak 719 says, "Who's the sexy sounding dude on the line?"
That's Tommy Toots on the line. I appreciate you, Mizzou fan.
We got Tommy Toots on the line here on SecondString Sports Talk, only on 489 The Score.
Right. Any other bets this week, Tom?
Yeah, do you have any outstanding bets, Tom, that you're waiting to hear back on? Any long leg parlays, anything like that?
So I have a couple of when I was in Vegas, I did do a couple of long shot Super Bowl bets. So I have the Vikings to win and I have the Titans to win. I think the Vikings I got at 18-1 odds. I think the Titans were 66-1.
Titans were 66-1.
Not great shot for those, but they could be a good one. And then I think for a matchup, I took Buffalo versus who should I have in the NFC? Dallas. I had Buffalo, Dallas. I'm on a live show, baby. Let me finish this. Sorry, it's Brian and Johnny on Second String Sports Talk. Let me finish. Okay, so So I think I have Buffalo and Dallas as a Super Bowl matchup, and I think I got decent odds on that. So
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to get the same odds on any of those anymore because I think the Vikings went down, and I think the Cowboys odds went down. But when I was there 2 weeks ago, I was still getting pretty good odds on those teams that I thought it was worth a long-term flyer. I also have some NBA over-unders I hit, but I don't know if you guys do any of that. So.
Well, let's say that. How about next week we come back and do fantasy crossover almost, where we're going to talk about NBA betting and who to pick up for your NBA fantasy teams.
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. I am very invested in the NBA right now, and I can come in and give you my Tootin analysis.
All right. Well, that was Tom's Tootin analysis.
Thank you so much, Tom.
We'll call you back next week.
Thanks for having me, boys. Bye.
Thanks, Tom. As
yes,
always.
I just want to do a little humble brag here. I want to share my screen.
Okay.
On my Twitters. Just a little, oh, what's that? Is that a 5-legger? Is that a 5-leg parlay that I won?
Wow. So what was can you walk us through the 5-leg parlay you won there? In a pretty interesting group of people.
It was honestly a last minute one. I mean, I had $6.25 in my Prize Picks account. So I kind of was shooting in the dark. It was on a Friday. I got a notification on my phone. I was kind of bored. I'm a freaking degenerate. So I was like, you know what? Sure. I'll do this because they boost it from 10 times to 15 times, which still isn't even really great odds. I would not suggest anyone to bank on these to hit very often, even if you are surgical on it. But I got really lucky here. I got Russell Wilson, obviously. I felt like he was going to have a bounce back week. Got it by 22 yards, so not bad there. DeAndre Hopkins, they're just keeping his line way too low. I think it's like at 90 this week or something like that. So they finally wised up on him. Ramondre Stevenson, I don't know why his line was so low. Damian Harris, wasn't even sure if he was going to be in the game. I mean, he was practicing full practice, but obviously Stevenson's, that's his backfield to lose. Trevor Lawrence was the one I actually was kind of risky on. But that Broncos defense, Patrick Surtain, I don't think he got an interception, but he's the real deal. The guy that, I don't remember his name, he had a cast on his arm to seal the deal. I mean, he already threw a pick at that time. But it was just an amazing play. But that Broncos defense is, I really hope they're not wasted away this year. And then Dak Prescott, hoping he would have a bounce back week. Tony Pollard almost stole it from me with his freaking rushing performance. We'll talk about that later maybe. But yeah, Dak just got what I needed for that last 5 leg. I would have probably cried if your Bears stopped him from getting a second touchdown.
Well, congrats, Johnny. You made, what was that, $87.50 off of that bet.
Yeah, don't take my word for it.
Well, some breaking news, actually. The Nets have suspended Kyrie Irving for no less than 5 games. And Austin Eckler was added to the injury report. I think he was –
No.
Let me just see.
That's good for my fantasy team. I took him on my weekly fantasy league this week, though. So that
he was limited in practice, so that doesn't necessarily mean he's out. He might have just – but a limited call this late in the week, kind of interesting. So for fantasy concerns, but –
yeah, it's not that bad. He'll still play. He freaked me out.
Yeah, well, you know what? While we're on the subject of players that may be, I don't know how to segue into this next segment, so why don't we just jump to weekly awards and superlatives?
Tell us who your first one goes to.
Yeah, so Brandon Cooks had some choice words for his team in a tweet.
Do the other one first.
You want me to do? Okay, I'll do the other one.
Sorry, I meant to talk to you about that. I think I messed it up.
All right, well, Jerry Jones is an old fool with a great sense of humor. He dressed up like a blind ref, kind of ableist, but whatever. If you're offended by that, I apologize. But his costume should have been that of a smart owner, with the hopes of him acting the part and starting Tony Pollard over Zeke this week. Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Zeke, we love you. but you're old. Please retire so Mike McCarthy can feed Tony.
First off, hey, he's younger than both of us, so just calm down with that. I'm just gonna play the video.
Okay? You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay? Okay? Are you? Absolutely. Okay? You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay? Okay? Are you? Absolutely.
We're playing it on a loop.
I always forget to hit the loop button from the intro.
Yeah, winning the You're Not That Guy, Pal award goes to Zeke Elliott. Zeke, you're not that guy. Tony's that guy. We're going to hope to feed Tony moving forward. Shout out to Marcus, who stole him from Johnny, and Johnny, who stole him from me.
I don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Thank you, Tony, for your time. I'm sorry I gave you away. But Aaron Jones is going to be the savior to my season. And actually, this is unprompted. I'm just going to go and I was debating about doing this, but as a ritual, I got it right here.
Oh, yeah. This is kind of cool.
Take it out. That's what she said. But Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones signed jersey. I like it. And it's like the alternate jerseys as well, or the throwback. What are those?
I know. I was editing a short for one Brandon Purna. Shout out. That's Good Sports, the one person that's in here. Good content. Go check him out. We were making a ranking all like alternate uniforms, and I put the Packers like alternate green. I love them, but they both, the guys, him and Will both didn't like it. So if you guys are watching, you guys are whack for not liking this.
All right. So what's your weekly award, Johnny?
My award goes to, this is an underrated guy. You might not even be able to find him in Yahoo Fantasy. That's how good he is, because he's not even on the team website. He's that underrated, and he's that much of a steal. Who?
Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool and Cole Kmet and Armstrong. Who? Let's go see what he is with Cole Kmet, Armstrong, Herbert. So now you have Armstrong, Herbert backs, nice backs. Mooney's a young guy, Claypool's a young guy, Kmet's a young guy, Armstrong's a young guy.
I've never seen that clip before in my life.
You didn't see that? That was just this week. So obviously, I mean, they were talking about Claypool, so you can see it's kind of, the last few days.
Armstrong.
The name you're looking for is David Montgomery. Honestly, no, I think that's just like, I feel like, I mean, mental mistakes happen. If you did it once, that's funny. It's just like, I'll give you a pass, like it's a brain fart or whatever.
You just kept going.
At least 4 times they clipped it. I mean, I don't watch his show, so I don't know. He's on the radio sometimes when I'm driving around.
Yeah. I like to troll.
Like football's his main sport too.
Armstrong.
Bears. Armstrong. David Armstrong. So yeah, go pick out David Armstrong in your league, guys.
An unsung hero.
Very, very unsung.
All right. Well, for our last award, this goes to Brandon Cooks. Going back to Brandon Cooks, he had some choice words for his team in a tweet after he wasn't traded at the deadline this past Tuesday. So
also inactive tonight. So
and he's inactive. So it begs the question: does Cooks not realize that he's a subpar football player at this point in his career?
He's not bad, actually.
Okay? You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay? Okay? Are you? Absolutely.
Winning the You're Not That Guy, Pal award for a second installment goes Brandon Cooks. So, and this is just based on personal opinion, but I don't think he's that guy to be begging to be traded to a playoff contender.
No, the problem is his paycheck. Okay, he's owed like $18 million or something like that. I have to bring up his exact.
Yeah,
he's not worth that. He's probably like a $10 million receiver, about the value of like an MVS or someone like that. But he like if he's not willing to take a pay cut, or the team's not willing to take more of a salary, and the team, like, I don't know, this is weird because he's been on and off apparently. I remember like 2 years ago he demanded the trade. Demanded was the word, I think. And then they worked it out, and then they're like, okay, he's actually a part of this team, and then they were going to shop him around, and they just didn't find a deal. So I don't know. A lot of weird things happening in the locker room, and no one else knows.
Yeah, And sorry, I'm actually I'm on my fantasy page right now. I don't think I can do it, but Johnny, consider doing this. If we're live, I think you should, while we're talking, drop Damian Harris, pick up Nico Collins.
He's inactive too.
I understand. I'm not saying to start him this week.
I don't need him this week.
I'm not saying to start him
next week. I'm okay. We'll talk about that. We're running out of time here.
All right. Well, let's just jump to our fantasy starts of the week.
I thought that said Cakehead, by the way. So I was like confused.
Cakehead? That guy's a cokehead. We talking about Brandon Cooks.
I don't know. I think you just said Brandon Cooks. I don't know. Brandon Cooks. Right?
Nice.
I hate myself.
Why don't we jump to our fantasy starts of the week for time constraint?
Hey, thanks for coming in, Leo. You have a good night. Enjoy the game if you watch it, because I hope it's a game.
Leo.
Thursday Night Football has not been nothing lately. All right, you said we need to buy more time because I have to stop this and then do the other thing. So keep what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, we're gonna jump to our fantasy starts of the week.
Yay! This is my favorite segment.
Why don't we take a look at how we did last week? And again, we color code them so you see good versus bad.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, Colin Coward is.
I
think he's just high on himself. Honestly, that's all. He's like the. God, I don't want to get into it.
He talks the same way. I think
that guy from Barstool does an amazing freaking job with those videos. I haven't seen him in like my feed so much. Hope he's still making them, but man, he does like the perfect Colin Coward impression.
Are you talking about Joey Molinaro?
Other impressions too. I don't remember his name. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's a great guy. All right, so let's look at our picks from last week. So, again, we color code them, so it's red for a really horrible pick by us last week. A is orange. That's a good solid pick. Was blue, and then green is wow. That was an amazing pick. Pat yourself on the back, fella. So we're talking about quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, not good. Johnny.
Yeah, he almost lost. Like every one of my team did awesome except one Daniel Jones. Almost blew it for me because Nick Chubb was running a hard on Thursday night or Monday night. I mean.
Well, I had Kirk Cousins, which was a good pick. I mean, he had a 24 for our league, and he was projected at 20. So, I mean, that's a solid start for if you get 24 out of a quarterback. You know, that's a good choice.
Anything in the 20s, like 20 and above, is pretty solid.
Yeah. Now we can look at our bad picks. And by the way, I picked Brian Robinson last week to get into Johnny's head. That's not a real pick I had. I want to just throw that out there so people aren't like, why'd Brian pick Brian Robinson? Did he really think he'd do well? No, I didn't. I wanted to get into Johnny's head, as we've talked about before.
Did I really have Tyler Higbee last week? I thought I had someone else.
No, you had Tyler Higbee.
Okay.
Because I remember the weird pick you had
last week. I mean, I've been streaming tight ends for the last 3 weeks now after my trade with Mike, and man, it's been so crazy tight end wise.
And just, I guess, overall, will you guys vote to certify the election?
What election are you talking about, dude?
The election to vote if we had good picks last week or not. I'm going to certify I had a better week than you last week. I had mostly blue and one green with Young Hoku. And you had what was that?
Titans defense came through though.
Yeah, they did. That was a solid pickup. I picked up the Colts, who I think had like 10 or 11, which wasn't horrible. It's just good. It's not bad. It's good. It's not bad. Has Johnny gained weight? I know Brian has. I've actually lost weight, Daniel. By the way, if anybody's listening, besides Daniel, Daniel was my roommate in college. This isn't somebody that we don't know who's trolling us and is being a bully for no reason. That was all last week, if you remember, Johnny. All those weird guys were saying weird stuff. Not mean about us, but just weird trolls. Daniel's just a mean person. So,
no, that's true. I can attest to that.
And but yeah, so right side mostly good, left side mostly bad. That's all you need to know. Good job, Johnny.
On to the next one, though. That's all you can do. Take your L's and move
Right.
on. Like, yes, I have gained a little bit of weight, Dan.
So
Dan, I will give credit. Dan was a little chubby like us in college, but he's looking nice now. He's probably gonna gain it back though, so it's okay.
what's
Quarterback.
did you say creatine? Is that what it's called?
Something.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I actually picked him up in one of my weekly leagues as well. I think that's a good pick for you.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this week where Green Bay's facing your quarterback choice, a defense in Detroit that's given up the third most points to quarterbacks. So I would assume Rodgers is ready to rumble. He actually didn't look too bad near the end of last week, if you remember, near the end of the game against Buffalo. And I think he just he was in a moment where he had to pass, and he figured it out with Romeo Dobbs and the other guy.
I mean, that was an incredible catch. And then Torrey is a dude. I know he's just like a 7th round pick, but he's not to be taken lightly. I mean, I think that anytime Rodgers specifically wants to give someone credit, then I think that's a big thing.
Right.
Rodgers did say that, I think this was the first practice we were ready to play, and I think we're actually the first game we played good football or something like that. So yeah, that's something.
That's a good sign.
But it's a good sign though, for real. I think that, like he says, he's a very rhythmic quarterback too, and so the team is kind of complemented by his rhythm. So I mean, that's why he was talking like they just need like one win and they can like really get in the groove. They just have, I mean, they played like doo-doo the past 5 weeks, and like last game was okay, and then like the week before that, just bad still.
Well, why don't we go into your pick of the key?
Yeah, Jared Goff. I think he's gonna have to. I mean, I think DeAndre Swift's still out. Jamal Williams. I mean, I think they might feed him a little bit, but I think that Goff's gonna have to play. It's gonna be a battle of the arms on Sunday in Detroit. So look for them both to do good.
We can only hope.
Running back, y'all. Kenyon Drake. Yeah, I would have thought of that. I would have put that clip in, but I didn't. Drake?
Is that Lil Wayne saying that?
No, that's Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy. Okay. Oh no, I'm mixing up Lil Wayne when he's talking about Gucci. You know what I'm talking about? The thing where he's saying Gucci's the top rapper.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I put Kenyon Drake, with the Monday night status with Gus Edwards sort of up in the air. I think Kenyon Drake is still the best option for that offense. So if Gus is out, I think Drake's my pick of the week. If Gus is in, I'd probably start someone else. I don't have a backup option for you, sorry, but yeah, Johnny, why don't you tell us a little bit about Deion Jackson?
Drake? The nigga that got body.
Oh, we're white. We can't have that word on our show. My pick is Deion Jackson because Jonathan Taylor been banged up, not practicing this week. They're just hoping he can keep playing games. So Deion Jackson's that guy. They got rid of Hines for like a draft pick. Yeah, we'll see if he produces. I know he got cut. He was waived like over the offseason, and then he was on the practice squad. So maybe they don't like him that much, but they have no choice but to feed him the ball with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback.
Not Bellinger?
Not Bellinger, no.
I kept saying Bellinger last week.
Dobbs.
Yeah, I put Dobbs here. That's mostly bouncing off my Rodgers pick. So Dobbs had a great week last week as well with 7 targets and a touchdown. He scored around 16 points in PPR format. So this will also be one of the easier matchups of the year for this offense because Detroit is horrible on defense and defending the wide receiver. I think they're – I want to say – I'm trying to remember. It was like 6th. They're the 6th worst at giving points up to the wide receivers. So
yeah, and they did just fire their secondary coach. Lazard is healthy, expected to play this Sunday. So that could cap Dobbs' ceiling, but I think it's still a good pick. Moving on to my pick, Duvernay, because one, Rashad Bateman is now out for the season after having injury on surgery. After having surgery on his foot, so he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Fortunate for you, you just dropped him, so you didn't have to waste a roster spot on him during labor wire period. So good job on that. Now, I think Duvernay has he was their returner, so that kind of shows his playmaking ability or what they thought about his playmaking ability at the beginning of the season before any of this crap happened. Now he's basically their wide receiver one the rest of the year. So we'll see if Mark Andrews can stay healthy, and if not, that even increases Duvernay's value even more. So thank God that I picked him up for a measly $11.
Screw you. All right. And I didn't put a waiver grab pick on him, but with Keenan Allen probably out, Mike Williams out after having injury, as Johnny would say. It's Gerald Everett time yet again. Herbert looks his way in the end zone quite a bit. I almost picked Josh Palmer as my wide receiver start of the week for this reason. But I'm thinking it will be like an Eckler Everett shows. Those wide receivers aren't necessarily starter material against, professional quarterbacks in the league. So I think it'll be Eckler Everett mostly. But I do I have Palmer probably starting in my team and Everett starting this week. So
I just want to give everyone a 4-minute warning just that I want to make sure that my lineup is – I don't think I have anyone playing tonight. I just want to double check. So, because I think that happened in my other league that I actually didn't start someone in time for Thursday night and they went off. So I was very upset.
4-minute warning.
4-minute warning. All right. I think I'm good. Bobby Tunyon. I was going to pick him last week and it would have worked out. It would have worked out even better if this freaking bullcrap of all.
Going to come off the ball slowly here, making it look like a run play all the way as he comes out. You can see Elam trying to get his.
I think that was past 5 yards, wasn't it, Johnny?
He initiated. No, look, I would slow it down. I'm gonna play it again.
You're going to come off the ball slowly here, making it look like a run play all the way as he comes out. See Elam trying to get his.
That was 7 yards.
He was like, "Get off me, boy."
7 yards. You can't be using your hands past 7 yards. Everybody knows that.
Shut up.
After 5 years.
Cole Kmet was doing shut up. Shut up right now, Brian. If Cole Kmet was doing that, you would mauled right now.
All right. First of all, Cole Kmet wouldn't be doing that because he's a good Catholic boy from Notre Dame. He wouldn't be throwing hands like that on some players. And also he wouldn't be doing that because Justin Herbert doesn't throw him the ball ever. So he's more of a cute little trophy that we have that we're not able to use ever. But thanks for wearing your cheese.
I spilled my beer on myself, bro. I just spilled it all over my lap by getting that cheese.
You deserve it. Let's go into our Big D and feet picks of the week. Big D, I'm going to say it again. Big D and feet picks.
Big D, and I'm cleaning up beer. I'm sorry.
There's the Big D
let's power through it and clean up
of the week. I got the Cincy Bang Bangs and the Young Ho Cooters.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say something else. I was a little.
I'm not going to say what you thought. All right, well, let's jump back into Cincy Bang Bangs. I might regret this if PJ Walker breaks out his XFL skills this week, but I'm going to go with the Bengals because the Panthers' offense is a decrepit wasteland of nobodies, and then there's DJ Moore on that team also. But I think the Cincinnati Bang Bangs are going to be doing good this week with their defense.
Yeah, that defense didn't look so good against the measly Browns, though, so we'll see. Young Ho is your Young Ho, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Titans defense playing the Texans last week, looking pretty good. This week they take on They take on Kansas City. I'm risking a little bit, but I think that they can get some sacks and get some pressure at Pat Mahomes' face.
Wait, you picked the Titans when they're playing Kansas City?
Yeah, why not? Sunday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes is not known to shine in Sunday Night Football lights.
Ay caramba. Okay. Well, Young Ho Cooter is always going to be my pick. He had 3 field goals last week and 4 extra points last week. So always Young Ho Cooter.
Brandon McManus, through the gooch, is my pick.
Well,
through the gooch.
Let's wrap it up with our favorite fantasy names we like this
fantasy
week.
Names? We didn't even finish this slide. We'll go over it.
Well, and the one that we didn't put in.
Because you erased it again. You erased mine every single time.
Stop. Listen, Johnny. You say I erase it, and I said this last week. You didn't put it in. So how can I erase something that was never put in? And
I think asked you to put it in, and you didn't put it in.
Okay, well, I didn't erase it, and you didn't ask me. You just assumed I would do it.
Well, look, you erased it there. Look at that.
Is there a way to type in on the screen the name you wanted to put in? Can you type in on the screen?
Type in your fantasy names, guys. Let us know.
Yeah, go back to the previous one. I just want to go over some of these. Dante Scorman, like Dante Foreman. We Be Chubbin, that's one somebody put in from Facebook. It's all right. You know, TB12 Broken Home Method was good.
Yeah, I think that's good. Shout out to Marcus.
Yeah, good one, Marcus. And the one that Johnny put that I erased, that's not very good.
You don't even remember. You don't even know.
You don't know for Eno Benjamin.
All right, y'all. That was our stupid freaking show. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to watch Thursday Night Football. We're going to stream a game. We're going to stream a game sometime again soon. Let us know in the comments below, for those of you watching in the future, which games you'd like us to see. Or do you want us to do games, or do you not? Should we just go hide in a closet instead? I don't really care. Just let us know. Thank you for watching. I'm Johnny Barks.
And I'm Brian Burgers.
And you've been sidelined by the Second Stringers.
Second String Sports Talk.
You've been hooked.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. You have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching our show.